there, and welcome to the very first episode of the Find Your Voice podcast by My Study Diaries. This very first series is called The Power You Hold, and I've been wanting to start a podcast since forever. And I really can't fathom the fact that, yes, I'm finally, launching my very own podcast on the My Study Diaries channel. Now, the reason I chose this name for the very first series is because the whole point of this podcast is to, remind myself as well as to remind all of you listening to this that we have power within ourselves. No matter how old you are, no matter where you live, no matter, what you like, what you don't like, what you study, how you study, we all hold power within ourselves. And I think that's a concept that many of us often ignore. We get drowned in sorrows and worries of life, that we forget that yes, we have magic within us. And it's very important to realize and acknowledge this, idea, because unless you do, you'll not be able to feel that you are worthy, you are deserving of everything you get, all the opportunities you get, all the appreciation you get, because you are powerful, strong, and an independent person. So how do you do this? That is one of the main questions, right? And it is done through simple practices of everyday life. When you realize that, for example, someone talks in a way to you that you really don't like or you really don't appreciate, you voice out your opinion. Say, hey, don't talk to me like that. I'm not liking it. And, that really makes a difference, and it sets a standard and it sets a boundary within which people must step into so that they become friends with you. Because if anyone crosses that boundary, that you have set the limits, and if they do, you will not be tolerating that at all. It's because you decide how people are going to treat you, and you decide what you deserve and what you don't. And unless you make this realization, no one else around you will. So make sure you grab that power and know where to exercise it. Always make the right choices, something that you feel is right at the bottom of your heart. And I think that is just a way that will lead you to the right path. Another thing I wanted to talk about here is, being yourself truly, because you are you and you should continue being you, right? There's no point being like, oh, my friends like this, so maybe I should also try and do the same thing so that I can fit in. No, you don't have to. And though it might be extremely awkward, especially when you're in high school, when you're surrounded by people who are very different from you. For example, I like reading books, but people around me don't. And when I talk about my interest in reading books, they might look at me and be like, oh my god, she is so old school or something like that. Don't feel bad, or you shouldn't even let that affect you, because you know that you'll enjoy reading. So how is someone else's opinion going to matter? Trust me, take this as a big sister advice or whatever you will, because I remember when I was maybe 12, 13, I've always tried to fit in with the people around me in school or my friends. And it doesn't always work that way, though, it might seem fine at that age. When I realize now, I feel like maybe I should have, explored more, done the things I really like. Maybe go into like a dance competition and, not feel so insecure about my dancing skills or something like that. Because, see, you live once. Why live in regret, and why live away from the things you really love just to please others? So just don't do that. Be yourself, and that's gonna also get you the right set of people in your life. Your friends will automatically be the ones who will appreciate your likes and dislikes. Always remember that you're strong, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because people might tell you that, oh, you can't do this, oh, you do not know how to do this. But when the time comes, you will know how to do it. Like, you can do it if you really put your mind to it. So don't let any of those comments disturb you. Just be yourself, and just ace this life just the way you are. My parents always tell me that if you want to do something, and if you truly believe that you can do it, then I'm sure that you will do it. And that's something I always keep in my mind, whether it's in academics, extracurriculars, or just life in general. So, honestly, that's all I had to talk today. Being my very first podcast, it is totally something that was not planned. I didn't have a script, and it wasn't perfect, but yeah, I've grabbed that power to come out and speak to you. So, I hope you guys had something to take away from this little talk I just had here. Wasn't perfect, but yeah, I just wanted to tell you something that I really felt. Do let me know how I can really change and modify the podcast so that you truly find it helpful and useful. Also, let me know about the other topics you want me to talk about, or something that you want to hear from me. Definitely going to take that into consideration. So stay tuned for episode 2, and hopefully it's going to be a lot more structured. I will, take my time, write down the points I'll need to talk to you about, and I'll maybe catch you hopefully in a few days. So stay tuned for that. And yep, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.